Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the News Today edition of 24th of December. My name is Anuj and I will be taking today's session. In today's session, we will be covering 5 main news and 8 quick update and 1 personality in news. In first main news, we will be covering about the ISRO's LVM-3 M6 mission, which has successfully placed the Bluebird Block 2 satellite in low Earth orbit. In this second main news, we will be covering about the RBI announcement for liquidity infusion measures for the banking system. In the third main news, we will be covering about annual report of Office of the Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademarks, which has been released. Then in the fourth main news, we will be covering about creators economy, as India's creator economy has driven over 1 trillion in the consumer spending by 2030. It has been said by a report. Then in fifth main news, we will be covering about industrial park, as industrial park are emerging as key pillars of India's innovation and industrial growth. Then in personality in news, we will be covering Swami Shraddhanand Saraswati ji. Then we will be briefly covering 8 quick update. So this is a brief about today's session. Let us begin the first news for today. So what is the first news for today? The first news is that ISRO's LVM-3 M6 mission has successfully placed the Bluebird Block 2 satellite in low Earth orbit. Why it is important? Because this satellite is of USA. You might have seen the pictures when we were sarcastically shown in images that we are carrying our satellites in bullock carts. Now our space economy is growing so fast that we are launching USA's satellite. Including this, we have launched around 34 countries' satellite. So this is the significance of this news. In this news, we will be learning about this launch vehicle, about this satellite, and overall space sector related to this news. It is related to GS paper 3, where syllabus talks about achievement of Indians in science and technology. So with this, let us begin the discussion of this news. Firstly, development. We have already discussed in the context that LVM-3 M6 has successfully launched the 6th operational flight of LVM-3, and this is the 3rd commercial flight and 6th overall. So this is the development, and it is part of commercial agreement between the New Space India Limited. It is the commercial arm of ISRO, and it was established in 2019. So this is also an important fact that New Space India Limited is the commercial arm of ISRO, and it was operationalized in 2019. So the agreement was between New Space India Limited and AST, which is a US-based company. So under this agreement, ISRO has launched this satellite from its Sriharikota. Okay, so this is the development, and we will be discussing about the launch vehicle in the next slide. So the launch vehicle, which is LVM-3 Mark III. Okay, so it is the most advanced and most powerful launch vehicle of ISRO's. Okay, and it has taken up 6 missions till now. Basically, coming to its stages, it has 3 stages. First one solid, then liquid, and then cryogenic. When you see the pictures of launching satellite, you will be noticing 2 solid blocks at the side of the launching vehicle. Those blocks are known as strap-on boosters, and they work as the thrust provider, which is required at the initial stage of launch. So at the first, they comprise about 2 solid strap-on motors known as S200. Then there is a liquid core stage, that is the second stage, and a cryogenic upper stage. Okay, so these are the stages, and when coming its key features, basically it can launch 4 tons, up to 4 tons to geosynchronous transfer orbit, and up to 8 tons to low Earth orbit. That is its capacity. Whenever you are reading this news, you should be knowing about geosynchronous transfer orbit as well as low Earth orbit and what are their utilization. Basically, geosynchronous transfer orbit is a orbit around the Earth in elliptical shape at around 37,000 kilometers from the Earth. And why it is used? It is used to transfer a satellite from it to geostationary or geosynchronous orbit. That is around the same height, but that revolve around the Earth on equators and around the equator, and it complete the cycle in the same time in which the Earth complete its rotation. That is around 24 hours. Okay, and in low Earth orbit, it is distance from 160 kilometers to 1000 kilometers, and it has various importance such as imaging satellite, and International Space Station is also placed in low Earth orbit. It is there from 160 kilometers to 1000 kilometers. Then there is medium Earth orbits. Then it comes the geosynchronous transfer orbit. Okay, so this is a basic information about various orbit where satellites are placed. And coming to the previous missions, it has launched Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3 and 2 OneWeb mission carrying 72 satellites. Please read about OneWeb mission as well. It is similar to this mission, but please read about OneWeb mission as well. Okay, so this was about the launch vehicle. Let us learn about the satellite. This satellite is not that important for us in the UPSC perspective, but you should know basics about this satellite, as this satellite is of USA. Okay, so such types of basic information must be known, but overall its significance and everything is not that relevant because it is not an Indian satellite. So its usage and other things can be learned, but not overall about the satellite. So coming to, it is part of global LEO constellation, which provide direct to mobile connectivity through satellite. So basically, to providing satellite connectivity to mobiles which are there in standard places or in places where there is no accessibility to the towers, such types of satellite based communication can be used, and it will provide 4G, 5G, voice as well as videos, calls, text, streamings and data. Basically what we are using today, it will provide all the services. So this is about Bluebird Block 2. Okay, and this launching vehicle is also known as Bahubali. So you might be reading in various newspapers that Bahubali has launched. So this launching vehicle is also known as the Bahubali of India. Okay. Now coming to the key features, it carries an array that is around 223 meters square, making it the largest commercial communication satellite ever deployed in low Earth orbit. Okay, mostly communication satellites are placed in geosynchronous orbit, but here it is placed in low Earth orbit. Okay, and it is the largest commercial communication satellite. And this is the heaviest payload, up to 6,100 kgs, to be launched by LVM-3. When we were discussing the features of LVM-3, we have discussed that its capacity is up to 8 tons to transfer into low Earth orbits. And here the weight is around 6,100 kgs. So this was about the satellite. We have learned about the launch vehicle. We have learned about the significance or the overall role of the Indian Space Agency. Okay. With this, we have completed this news. Let us discuss the PYQ related to this news. So PYQ is from 2018 prelims examination, and this question is directly related to our discussion. What is the question? Question is, with reference to India's satellite launch vehicle, consider the following statement. PSLV, earlier launch vehicle, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, said launch satellite useful for Earth resource monitoring, whereas GSLV, which is the another name of LVM-3, are designed mainly to launch communication satellite. So this is the first statement. We have already discussed that we have built it to send around 4 tons of satellite to geosynchronous transfer orbit. There we keep most of these communication satellites. So it was designed for that. That's why the first option become correct. Then satellite launched by PSLV appears to remain permanently fixed. It is a wrong statement. Mostly the satellite launched by the PSLV are placed in the polar orbit and they revolve around this Earth, and that's why they can be seen around 2 times in a day, and they are not remained permanently fixed in the in the space. Then GSLV Mark III is a 4-stage launch vehicle. We have discussed this, that this is a 3-stage launch vehicle. That's why this statement is also wrong. The correct answer for this is A1 only. So with this, we have completed the first news. Let us move to the second news for today. The second news is related to RBI. And what is the context? The context is that RBI has announced liquidity infusion measure for the banking system. So in this news, we will be learning about the steps taken by the RBI and how they will impact the overall market. So it is related to GS paper 3, which talks about economic development, and in that basically it is related to monetary policies. Now let us discuss the news. First of all, what are the operations announced by the RBI? So basically RBI has said that it will conduct an open market purchase OMO of government securities of 2 lakhs crore and a USD INR 3-year buy, sell and swap auction for USD 10 billion. So this overall development or the context is not important, that this much of money is infused or this much of buyback agreement has been signed. But what are the operation, this open market operation purchase, what are this buyback and sell swap mechanism, why they are significant, that is important for our examination. So let us first understand about open market operation. So here what RBI is doing? So basically, RBI is purchasing securities from banks, the government securities. And in return, what RBI will be giving? So RBI will be giving rupee. That will increase the money in the market. Basically, money in the banks, and it will lead to increase in the money in the market. That is the first open market operation where RBI has purchased government securities. Secondly, USD INR buy and sell swap. What it is? RBI is purchasing dollars from the banks and giving money and saying that after 3 years, I will be giving dollars again to you, where I will be taking money or the Indian currency back. So by this mechanism also, RBI is increasing the liquidity, that is the money in the market. And there is one more hidden inference which can be taken out from this development, especially the second development. You might all be aware that Indian rupee is depreciating, and for that RBI is selling dollars in the market, by which the forex reserve of RBI, especially related to dollars, have decreased. So by this mechanism, the dollars in the forex reserve of RBI will increase, and they will be in a condition like if there is a volatility in the depreciation of rupee, they can sell out the dollars in the market. That is the second inference we can take out from this development. First one is open market operation. That is very simple. RBI is giving them buying the securities from the banks and giving them the money. It will increase the money in the market, especially for the banks, and bank can lend in the market. Second, they are USD and INR buy swap mechanism they are doing, they are buying dollars from the banks and giving them the Indian rupee. Again, this will increase the monetary or increase the liquidity in the market. So this is the development. In economics, it should be very clear. Basics should be very clear. Then only you can understand the significance. And we will also solve one PYQ with the help of this information. So now let us move further and discuss about the need for liquidity infusion. Why there is a requirement of liquidity infusion? First of all, RBI foreign exchange market interventions. So to decrease the depreciation of Indian rupee, RBI has sold out dollars into the market. By selling the dollars in the market, there is less Indian rupee with the banks now. So now RBI is increasing the Indian rupee in the banks. Secondly, it will lead to strong credit growth. What does it mean? Basically, when banks will have money, then only they can give to the customers. And not only to giving, they will give at the lower interest rate. So basically, it will lead to increase in the utilization of Indian rupee in the market, which can lead to increase in the GDP of the India. That is the basic aim of this liquidity infusion. Then there are other reasons as well. These are some technical reasons such as advanced tax outflow which has been taken, then significant foreign portfolio investors selling in the Indian equities. So these are some other reasons, but basic two reasons we have clearly understood. Now let us move to the next part of this news. In the next part, we will understand about the other liquidity infusion instruments. Whenever you are starting or reading economics, you should be very clear about these instruments of RBI. One is quantitative tools and another one is qualitative tools. What is the difference between them? If you know the difference, you will understand them very clearly. Basically, quantitative tools means controlling the cost and the quality. This is the meaning of quantitative tools. Then what is the meaning of qualitative? Basically giving the direction to the credit. That is the meaning of qualitative tools. And what all come under the quantitative tools? That is liquidity adjustment facilities, under which there is repo and reverse repo. Then cash reserve ratio, which banks have to keep with the RBI. Then statutory liquidity ratio, which bank have to keep them with them but in a certain amount. Then there is bank rate. These are the part of quantitative tools. And the part of qualitative tools are credit rationing, moral suasion, selective credit control, and margin requirement. So here RBI is directing that where should the credit go. That is the meaning of qualitative tools. In quantitative tools, RBI is controlling overall credit of the market. So these are the liquidity infusion instruments are there with the RBI. So let us move to the next slide of this news. Next slide is PYQ, and PYQ is from 2022 prelims examination. Please read this question very carefully, as the questions of economics are coming on an analytical base. So you should understand the news very carefully. And the question is, with reference to the Indian economy, consider the following statement. Statement 1, if the inflation is too high, Reserve Bank of India is likely to buy the government securities. That is the first statement. Then if the rupee is rapidly depreciating, RBI is likely to sell the dollars in the market. Let us first decode the first statement. If the inflation is too high, that means there is a lot of money in the market. Money is in surplus. So in that case, do you think RBI is likely to buy the government securities? If RBI will buy the government security, that will further increase the money in the market. So this is an wrong statement. With this information only, we can find out the answer, because A also carries the one option, C carries the one option, D also carries the one option. Then answer is automatically B. 2 and 3, even if you don't know about 2 and 3, then also the answer will be B. But let us read out the second and third statement. Second, if the rupee is rapidly depreciating, RBI is likely to sell dollars in the market. Basically, if rupee is depreciating, that means there is a paucity of dollars in the market. To increase the availability of dollars, obviously RBI has to sell the dollars in the market. We have discussed this. Then third statement, if interest rate in USA or European Union were to fall, that is likely to induce RBI to buy dollars. Even in this case, what will happen is, if there is fall in interest rate in USA and European Union, then they will come and invest in India. And that will increase the value of Indian rupee. In that case, RBI will likely to induce to buy dollars. So that is the meaning of second and third statement, and answer is B, 2 and 3 only. And with this question, you can understand how analytical questions are coming in the economics examination. Okay, so with basic information, you should be clear with the idea that where all this information can be used. So with this, we have completed the second news. Let us move to the third news for today. And third news is about annual report 2024-25 of Office of Controller General of Patent, Design, Trademark, which has been released. In this news, we will be learning about IPR policy, what all comes under the IPR, and what are the key findings of this report. It is again related to GS paper 3, which talks about industrial policy and their effect on industrial growth. So let us discuss this news. There are PYQ related to this news that we will be discussing after the discussion of this news. So what is the development? Development is that this report showcases the trend related to IPR landscape in India. So that is the development. It shows about the trend, growth or downfall of the IPR in India. And what are its key findings? First of all, it showcases that India's IP filing have record high, and it has increased by around 20% year-to-year growth, and the number is about 7.5 lakhs. If there are two numbers in a same statement, try to remember at least one so that you can use that in your answers to make your point little bit specific. Either you can remember that there is 20% year-on-year growth, or you can also remember that there are around 7.5 lakh total IPR filing in India, IP filing. And in that, trademark formed the largest chunk. We will be understanding about 8 types of IPR in the next slide. For now, let us understand that there is increase of 20% year-on-year, and in that, trademark is the major chunk. Secondly, it has said about the patent application. It has crossed around 1,10,000, with Indian residents has accounted for 60%, around 61%. Okay, so that means that basically Indians are major filers of the IPR in India. Foreign companies and foreigners are also there, but majorly Indians are filing IP. That is around 61% of the total person who are filing for the IPR. Then thirdly, it has said that in other IPR or other IPs, in trademark, design, copyright and geographical indication filing has also increased. So these are the key highlights which have been presented in this report. This gives a very positive direction to our IPR policy. When we were reading about the economics Nobel Prize of this year, we have discussed about creative destruction. When we were discussing this news, we have discussed that to support why there should be increase in creative direction, there should be support to IPR. If there will be IPR, there will be more innovation, there will be more growth and sustained growth. That was there in the creative distraction. That for that, Nobel Prize in Economics is given this year. That's how you can interrelate various topics to support your answers. Okay, so this was about the key highlights which were given in the report. Now let us understand about the IPR. Basically, let us understand about its definition. It is the right given to person over creation of their mind, giving them an exclusive right over a creation for certain period of time. Basically, it is around 20 years, but it varied from one nation to another. As IPR is specific to geography, that means it varies from one nation to another nation. So it is given for one nation, and its basic meaning is that it is rights given to the person over creation of their minds, giving them an exclusive right over the creation of certain period of time, for certain period of time. That is the basic definition. And under this, there are 8 types of IPR. First is patent. You might be saying about the patent war. Various chemical companies, the biomedical companies claim patent for their medicine so that they can use their economic significance and earn money from their patent. That is patent. Then trademark. Various companies and have their specific trademark. By that trademark, you can recognize that which company is there. So that increase the trust on that company, and you can relate that this product will be good or bad. That is the meaning of trademark. Then there is industrial design. Various designs of car, televisions, fridge comes under industrial design. Then copyrights. Copyright is for literary work or the audio work, films, and etc. Please note here that the computer programs comes under copyright. Please be very clear. Computer programs comes under copyright. Then geographical indicators that are basically given for a basic geography, such as Kolhapuri chappals. They were in the news when Prada sell their chappals at a very higher price. But there is a geographical indication or indicator for the Kolhapuri chappals. Then semiconductor integrated circuit layout design, that is clear from its words. Then trade secrets. Basically, trade secrets are customer list or basic specialized formula. You might all have heard that Coca-Cola has a specific formula for their production of Coca-Cola. That is come under trade secret. Then there is IPR for plant varieties as well. So most of them come under Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademark Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. But 2 does not come under this. One is plant varieties. It comes under Ministry of Agriculture. Such types of exceptions should be remembered. And copyright, it comes under Ministry of HRD. Also Ministry of Education, basically known now as Ministry of Education. Okay, so these are the 2 IPR which comes under different ministries. All others comes under Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademark Department for Promotion of Industry and Industrial Trade. So this was about IPR. Now let us look into the various government initiatives which are there for promotion of IP activities in India. First of all, them is National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission, NIPAM. So it is to increase the awareness and to educate 1 million students about the intellectual property. So there should be awareness, and by this mission, government is educating around 1 million students about intellectual property. Then there is capacity building as well. In this, we can give example of Spriya scheme, which try to integrate the IPR education into the higher learning. Then there is National IPR Policy 2016, which is under DPIIT, which is a comprehensive framework to promote IP creation, protection, and commercialization, which is aligned with the global best practices. Here you should know about TRIPS, which is for IPR under WTO, and it is the part of Doha agreement as well. There is a direct PYQ related to this policy. This policy was launched in 2016 and there was a PYQ in 2017. We will be discussing that PYQ in the next slide, but for now let us read out clearly again. It is a comprehensive framework to promote IP creation, protection, and commercialization, which are aligned with the global best practices. Lastly, digitalization, that is IP Sarthi chatbox, which is an AI powered assistant and which help in better filing of the patent application. So these are the initiatives which are taken by the Indian government for IP activities. Now let us discuss the PYQ which are related to this news. First PYQ is from prelims, as I have already told you. It was there in 2017 and the question is, with reference to the National Intellectual Property Right Policy of 2016, consider the following statement. First, it reiterates India's commitment to Doha Development Agenda and the TRIPS agreement. We have discussed this is a correct statement. Then, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, DPIIT, is the nodal agency for regulating intellectual property right in India. These are the two statements and both these statements are correct. Both 1 and 2. Then there is one more PYQ that is there from 2024 and the question is, I think it is from 2014. Question is, what is the present world scenario of intellectual property right with respect to materials? Although India is a second in the world to file patent, still only a few being commercialized. Explain the reason behind this less commercialization. It is a 2024 PYQ of mains. So basically they are asking about intellectual property right all over the world and especially in India. Although India is second in the world to file patent, still only a few have been commercialized. So you can write about the issues where their invention does not materialize into the innovation. So this is the PYQ of 2024 mains examination. So with this, we have completed this news. Now let us move to the fourth news for today. The fourth news is about the creator economy, also known as the orange economy. And the development here is that according to one report, India's creator economy will drive over 1 trillion in consumer spending by 2030. This is the report. I think you might be having one friend who might have started a YouTube channel. So this news is related to that only, that India's creator economy to drive over 1 trillion in consumer spending by 2030, and it is also related to GS paper 3 which talks about economic development. So let us discuss this news in detail. First of all, what is the name of that report? It is report by the Boston Consulting Group report. And it has said that 2 to 2.5 million creator in India are influencing more than 30% of consumer with around 350-400 billion in consumer spending. I think you might be using Instagram. Whenever you think to buy something, there will be ad on Instagram or other platforms, social media platforms such as YouTube, Facebook and other, where they will nudge you to buy that product. Even though you might be avoiding, but they will nudge you to buy that product. That is the basic finding of that report, that 2 to 2.5 million creators in India are influencing more than 30% of consumers with around 350 to 400 billions in the consumer spending. And this spending is in dollars. I think if you are using social media, one or two product of yours might be very clearly influenced by the social media. Okay. Now let us understand about creative economy. What it is. It is also known as orange economy. Okay, so basically it is an ecosystem which involve creators, platform, brands and third-party intermediaries who collaborate and generate revenue through content-driven models. You might have all seen the content on YouTube, Instagram, where they say to that this product is nice or this product is not that good and these are the benefit of this product. So such type of promotion and such type of development is known as the creative economy. And we Indians are moving at very fast pace in the creative economy. Now let us understand its significance and challenges. What are the significance? Significance. Presently, it is a $30 billion industry. That is in US dollars, which is a high number. Then around 8% of India's working population is directly or indirectly working in the creative economy. Then it contributes around 20% to gross value added. What is gross value added? Basically, gross value added is the total output of the economy minus the intermediaries. And you can also calculate GDP by it. That is gross value added plus the taxes minus the subsidies. If you have seen the recent papers and observe the trend, UPSC is giving numbers in economic papers and asking you to calculate something. Suppose they have given GVA, they have also given the taxes, they have also given the subsidies and asked you to calculate GDP. Don't think that question is from CSAT. That can be in GS paper 1 as well. Please follow the pattern which can be noticed from UPSC prelims examination. There are key challenges to the creative economy as well. First of all, inconsistent monetization opportunities. As we have discussed when we were discussing the context, that one of your friend might have started a YouTube channel, but he or she would not have continued it because of inconsistent monetization opportunities. Then stringent platform algorithms. There can be strike and there can be algorithm where that platform will be promoting one product but not the other. These are the other issues. Then IPR issues are there. Then trust and authenticity. Under this, fake followers. There are fake followers, fake channel, fake views as well to monetize their products. So basically, these are the key challenges of the creative economy. Now let us look into the major findings of the report. First of all, the finding is supporting infrastructure in India. It is saying that digital content watch time is increased from 6.6 hours to 10.9 per week, which is a high number. And if you notice your screen time, you might have noticed that it keep on increasing if you don't monitor it. And please be very aware. Suppose you are watching a movie and hero or heroine, lead actors of the movie, are trying to clear the examination, but they are waking up and using the phone and sleeping again. Then again they are saying that we will prepare tomorrow. You will not watch that movie. Similarly, don't waste your time in watching digital platform unnecessarily. You can use it for education purposes, but not for consumption unnecessarily. Okay. Secondly, there is the finding, there is demographic expansion. The report has found out not only children's but various demographics are using this creative economy. That can be elders, that can be middle-aged people as well. Then they talked about the leading categories. It can be very clear that the short-time videos, are the leading or the dominant content format. And in that, comedy is the most viewed genre. Then They talk about brand spending. It has found out that 70% of brands are expecting to increase their creator budget by 1.5 to 3 times over the next 2 to 3 years. Most of the advertisement now are available on the digital platform. It is very rare to find advertisement on the published platform such as billboards and etc. There, the budget of the companies is shifting from billboards to the digital platform that you can notice in your surroundings as well. So these are the findings of this report. There are no direct question from this news, but in various questions this information can be used. Okay, so this was the fourth news for today. Now let us discuss the fifth news. The fifth news is about the industrial park. There is a report that has said that industrial park are emerging as the key pillars of India's innovation and the industrial growth. In this news, we will be learning about industrial park, then their importance and what are the trends recently which has been observed. It is also related to GS paper 3 which talks about economic development. Now let us understand this news. So basically let us first understand what are industrial park. That is clearly there in the report. So it is a developed partnership with the state government and private sector. They offer shared infrastructure, streamline approval and a predictable regulatory environment. Suppose you have a company and you want to open that in some area. So it will be most likely that you will open that company in a place where there is a shared infrastructure, streamlined approval and a predictable regulatory environment. Otherwise, for you, opening that industry or opening that company will become very difficult. That is the meaning of industrial park. And the context here is that the industrial parks are leading to innovation and growth in India. And why they are leading to growth and innovation in India? There are some benefits which are related to industrial park. And what are those? Regulatory regime. Basically, there are incentive-based rules for labor, land use, and foreign investment. So you can get better opportunities for land and the foreign investment. Then there is integrated infrastructure. So suppose there is a warehouse of another company, you can use it until you are building your warehouse, or you don't have a separate warehouse and you don't require it, but you require it for a small purposes, then you can use the shared infrastructure. Then defined geography. The geography and the master plan of that land is defined, so for what the specific area can be used. Then dedicated management. For the IPR, the management is dedicated so that the single authority oversees the various entry and the regulatory compliances. So it becomes easy for a company to comprehend the various policies. Lastly, multi-tenant cluster is there, and multiple firms collaborate and share resources within the park. These are some essential of the industrial park. In this essential, you can also learn about the significance, as the significance will be similar to the essential of the industrial park. Now let us move further and understand about the status of industrial park in India. First of all, India has more than 4,500 industrial park as per India's Industrial Land Bank. And there are 306 plug and play industrial park. What is this plug and play? So there are infrastructure. You will be given that infrastructure, and with the approval, you can start the company. That is the basic meaning of plug and play. Basically, you are plugging something and playing that. This is here, it is for infrastructure or the companies. That is plug and play industrial park. Then there are 20 parks and smart cities are being developed under the National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation. This National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation is also important. There are around 11 industrial corridor which are under construction. In those, 4 are completely built, which is India to Mumbai, Mumbai to Bangalore, Bangalore to Chennai. I think there are some 11 corridors. Please learn about those 11 corridor and mark them on your Indian map. There can be direct or indirect question from the industrial corridor of India. So these are the status of IP in India. Now let us move further and understand about the initiative taken by government to promote them. First of all, plug and play industrial park. We have understand the meaning of plug and play. So basically union budget of 2025-26 has allocated around 2,500 crores so that there is further increase in plug and play industrial parks. It become very easy for investor to invest in such parks where they have readily available infrastructure and they can start their service or manufacture. Secondly, India's Industrial Land Bank, which is developed by DPIIT as a centralized platform offering spatial and non-spatial information on the industrial land. What is this spatial and non-spatial information? Spatial is basically information related to geography of a place, basically the location. And non-spatial information are various information in and around that. So this is the meaning of spatial and non-spatial information. Then industrial park rating system. So there is a comprehensive framework to rate and assessing the performance of various industrial park. In the first slide, we have learned that India has around 4,500 parks, but in those parks, there is a comprehensive assessment policy under the industrial park rating system. Then there are various steps taken by the government for ease of doing business reform. First, you might all remember that there is reforms in GST. Then there are some other policies as well, such as National Business Reform Action Plan of 2014. It assesses the performance of various states and rank them according to ease of doing business in that state. Okay, so these are some initiative taken by the government to promote industrial park in India. Then there is one PYQ which is not directly related to this question, but you can infer from that question that what kind of question can come from such type of news. And the question is from 2015. At that time there was marking of around 12.5. Now the marking is of 10 and 15 marks. The question is, there is a clear acknowledgement that special economic zones are a tools for industrial development, manufacturing and export. Recognize this potential, the whole instrumentality of SEGs require augmentation. Discuss the issues plaguing the success of SEGs with respect to taxation, governing laws and administration. If I replace special economic zone with the industrial park, same question can be asked. Then you can use the information which is given in this news. So with this, we have completed the main news for today. Now let us discuss the personality in news for today. So the personality in news for today is Swami Shraddhanand Saraswati ji. And what is the context? The context is that Union Home Minister has paid tribute to this Swami Shraddhanand ji on his martyrdom day. So this is the context. Now let us understand about his life and his contribution. So basically he was born in Talwan village of Jalandhar district, which is presently part of Punjab. And he was a Indian independent activist and a Arya Samaj sannyasi. So with this information, two things are very clear. He played a role in Indian independence and he was part of Arya Samaj. And in what he has directly participated, he participated in roller satyagraha and non-cooperation movement. There are sometimes questions in UPSC where they are asked that this person was related to this movement or not. So Here, this information is clear that he was related to Roller Satyagraha and non-cooperation movement. Basically, he participated in that. Then he is the part of Arya Samaj movement as well, and he has played a key role in Suddhi movement, which was one of the movement of Arya Samaj in 1920s. Now let us learn about his other contribution. One is in education. In 1902, he established a Gurukul in Kangri, which is near Haridwar and which is presently recognized as Gurukul Kangri University. Then he is remembered as the Karam Yogi who fused spirituality with the nationalism. If you have visited the Chandni Chowk, and you might have seen the Delhi Town House, which is outside Chandni Chowk metro station, you can see his statue outside Delhi Town Hall, which was MCD office till 2009. Before his statue, the statue of Queen Victoria was there, but it was replaced with the statue of Swami Shraddhanand Saraswati ji. And he was assassinated in Delhi itself, and his values are social equality, nationalism, education reform, and other. So this was all about the Swami Shraddhanand Saraswati ji. With this, we have completed the personality in news. Now let us discuss the quick update for today. So the first quick update for today is about Mahasagar doctrine. And what is the context? The context is that under this doctrine, India has announced around USD 450 million reconstruction assistance package for Sri Lanka, which was affected by Ditwa cyclone. So in this news, we will be learning about this policy. It is an extension of Sagar doctrine, which has shifted our focus from just maritime security. So before, we were focusing on providing the maritime security to the countries which are there in and around Indian Ocean. But with the Mahasagar doctrine, along with the maritime security, our focus is also to the economic and the geopolitical concern. As the Indian Ocean has become a hotbed for the conflict of various countries. And this term Mahasagar means the great ocean. And with this, we are providing the leadership to these countries in the Indian Ocean region as well as the global south. And its objective is to strengthen India's leadership in the Indian Ocean region as well as in the global south. So this was the first quick update. Now let us discuss the second quick update for today. Second quick update is about Akash next generation missile. And what is the context? The context is that the DRDO has successfully completed the evaluation trial of Akash new generation system. When there was Operation Sindoor, the Akash missile played a very important role in providing the defense against the drones as well as the missiles of the Pakistan. Now let us understand about the Akash new generation missile and its type. It is surface to air missiles defense system. Basically, if there is any incoming threat from the air, that this Akash new generation system can launch missile and protect the country. And it is designed to work against diverse aerial threats. Example, high speed or low altitude and low range high altitude targets. So it will destroy before they will hit the country. Then it is developed by DRDO along with the Bharat Electronics Limited, BEL. This is an important information that these missiles are developed by DRDO along with the Bharat Electronic Limited. And its key features, it is equipped with the indigenous radio frequency seekers and propelled by the rocket solid motors. And basic function is to recognize various threats which are coming from coming from the aerial route and neutralize them. This is about the Akash new generation missile. Now let us move to the third quick update for today. The third quick update is about group of monument of Hampi. And what is the context? The context is that the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji has expressed concern over the poor maintenance of Hampi, She has said that there are very sanitation facilities and it become very difficult for travelers to visit these monuments. Now let us understand about group of monument at Hampi. Basically, it compromises mainly the remnant of capital city of Vijayanagar Empire that was there from 14th to 16th century, and it is located on Tungabhadra river. On Tungabhadra basin in Vijayanagar district of Karnataka. There was a direct question which was there from this information that Hampi is located on such river. So I think very other river was given and that was a wrong statement. Then there are important remains here. There are Krishna temple, Narsimha temple, Ganesha, Hemakunta group of temples, Achyutara temple complex, Vithala temple complex, and other complexes as well. It is there in UNESCO's World Heritage List, which it was added in 1986. All the monuments which are there in UNESCO's heritage list, they are become very important for UPSC examination. If you see the questions of the prelims examination, if there is question on monument, it is most likely that those monuments are there in UNESCO's World Heritage. So please learn about all the monuments which are there in UNESCO's World Heritage list. Okay. With this, we have completed this quick update. Now let us move to the next quick update. Next quick update is about International Civil Aviation Organization. And what is the development? Development is that India has been re-elected to Council of International Civil Aviation Organization for the term 2025 to 2028. So for this, there is selection for 3 years. They are elected by 193 members. So India has been re-elected. Now let us understand about ICAO. It is a specialized UN agency which was established in 1944 under the Chicago Convention. So here important information is that it is a UN specialized agency which was established in 1944 under the Chicago Convention. And about its member, there are 193 members and India is the founding member. Then its key role, it basically coordinate global standard for safety, efficiency and sustainability in air transport. These issues are there and they are recurring in the news. So you can use this agency of UN for supporting your answer which will be related to civil safety or aviation safety. Then it ensures the smooth operation of the global air mobility network. Okay, so this was about the International Civil Aviation Organization. Now let us understand about Mubarak Al Khabir port. And what is the development? The development is that Kuwait has signed an agreement with China to build Mubarak Al Khabir port. So basically what Kuwait is doing, Kuwait wants to diversify its economy from the oil. That's why they are building a major port, and for building that port they have signed an agreement with China to build this port, and the name of the port is Mubarak Al Khabir port, and it is located on Bayubian Island which is there in Kuwait, and its operationalization, its entire project is expected to operationalized by 2026, and it is part of China's Belt and Road Initiative. So basically in Belt and Road Initiative, one is route over the land and another route is over the ocean. So in that route of ocean, this port will be there. So it will be the part of China's Belt and Road Initiative. Now let us understand about the next quick update. Next quick update is about Subansiri Lower Hydroelectric Project. This is very important for your examination. And what is the context? The context is that Union Ministry of Power, Housing and Urban Affairs has inaugurated the commercial operation of Unit 2. And there are 8 units in this project, but the context here is that they have inaugurated the Unit 2. Now let us understand about this Subansiri lower hydroelectric project. So it will be the India's largest hydropower project when it will be operationalized in the full capacity, that is of 2000 megawatt. Very extreme statement. It will be the India's largest hydro power project. Then it is a run of river scheme. Basically, the water is not stopped, the natural flow is maintained. Along with that, the electricity is produced. Then it is undertaken by the National Hydroelectric Power Corporation Private Limited. Okay, and it is located on North Lakhimpur, which is there on the border of Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. And Subansiri as a river is a tributary of Brahmaputra river. So this was about Subansiri lower hydroelectric project. Now let us move to the next quick update. The next quick update is about Tanjore painting. And what is the context? The context is that Department of Post has transported Tanjore painting of Lord Ram from Bangalore to Ayodhya. That is the context, and in this news we will be learning about the Tanjore painting. They are provided with the geographical indication tag. So there is a specialization in the Tanjore painting. So basically they are classical art which is named after the Tanjore in the Tamil Nadu. Tanjore was the capital city of Chola's empire. You might have read it in the ancient India. And this art has flourished under Cholas, Naikas of Vijayanagar and Maratha rulers. So this is about Tanjore painting. And what are their key features? First one, they are also called as Palagai Padam. Why they are called as Palagai Padam? Because they are drawn on a wooden plank. That is the first feature. Second, they are embedded with the glass beads, semi-precious gemstone, vibrant natural colors and gold foils which provide them three-dimensional effect. They are very visible. Then they are also known for their extravagant depiction of the deities. So mostly these paintings are related to deities. So this was about Tanjore painting. They are from Tanjore, which was capital of Cholas. They flourished under Cholas, Naikas of Vijayanagar and Marathas rulers. There are some features and they have a geographical indication tag. Now let us move to the next quick update. The next quick update is about Rashtriya Vigyan Puruskar. Okay, and the context here is that President of India has presented the Rashtriya Vigyan Puruskar of 2025. This is the context. Now let us understand about Rashtriya Vigyan Puruskar and what is its objective. Basically, it recognizes the notable and inspiring contribution made by the individual or team in the field of science, technology and innovation. This award is given in the 13 stream, which is there for science, technology, engineering. And its eligibility, all the scientists, technology and innovators which are working in government or the private organization are eligible under this to get this award. Or the Indians which are of Indian origin or are there in the outside countries, but they made a significant scientific contribution which benefit the Indian society or Indians are also eligible under Rashtriya Vigyan Puruskar. And what are the various categories under this? There are 4 categories which are Vigyan Ratna, Vigyan Shri, Vigyan Yuva and Vigyan Team. These are the 4 categories and we have already discussed that these are given in the 13 domain. With this, we have completed the News Today session of today. To read further about our initiative, you can visit the Digital Current Affairs website of us, and you can also solve smart quizzes there. And please solve the question which are available or visible on your screen. Thank you and all the best for your preparation.